Really? Are we doing this?
I don't know. Do we need to do
All
that?
right, back with our audience here at the ClickSpace Cafe in Hanoi, Vietnam. And I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching a great block of films. So we're doing a little something that's a little different. We don't have the filmmakers here with us. I know these films pretty well, and so we're opening up the questions to you guys for Q&A about the festival or just the films that you saw. So without further ado, go ahead and ask away.
Okay, Adam, I'm going to start with a question from me. And I think it might be on all of our minds because I saw some faces wince during one of the first movies. We're very worried about the dog. And I know, Adam, you were from your time in Hanoi that you're a veterinarian, so I trust everything was in good hands.
Yes, no dogs were harmed in the making of that movie. That dog won Best Actor, Animal Actor Award that year. No, he just did a lot of makeup and had a very cooperative dog that did the work for us, and a lot of it was created also in the sound design. So the director and the filmmaking team there out of Iran did just a wonderful job on that particular film, and he kind of brought up a lot of issues, and I think it just handled everything really well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was quite a hard to watch movie in parts, but as long as we know it's all 100% fiction, I think we can sleep well tonight. It brings me to my next question, which is obviously you know a little bit about the background of that film, and what I want to know is how did you find these films? How did you create these films? And what is the common denominator? How are we here today with this group of amazing movies?
Well, all of these films were prior selections to the unofficial Google Plus Film Festival in many different years. And so I have relationships with all of these filmmakers from the prior years and kind of went through all of our lists and decided, you know, which films would be a good match, as well as you know, the ones that I had the best relationships with, in order to deliver what I thought was just some of the best of the fest. So that's really what you guys are watching, is some of the best of the fest from the prior years.
Great. Okay, that's awesome. I have one more question, but I'd rather see if anybody else in our audience would like to ask Adam a question about tonight. Yeah. What's your question?
What if I'm a filmmaker and I have to feel that
You'd like
somebody?
Yeah. So if we have somebody in our audience who has a film and they're a filmmaker and they'd like to submit something, are you still interested to find out more movies and more directors?
We're always interested. We have, usually what we do is we make an announcement to open up the festival for submissions, and we have not started taking submissions for next year. We're kind of in the throes of this year, but I definitely would encourage everybody to sign up on our email list, and that way we'll send out an email letting everyone know when we are accepting submissions so that they can send in their films for our curators to watch and see.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll be sure to post that on our Facebook so people have the contact details. Does anybody else here want to ask Adam a question? Yep.
Can I ask, like, how many times the shit word was mentioned in that the last movie? you know, like the last movie, like they say a lot of shit word. I wonder, like, how many times.
Do we have a shit count on the last film?
I don't have a shit count on the last film. That's from a really good friend of ours who actually we met the first year of the festival and became a really big part of some of the work that we did in the past. And we've actually worked a lot with him. I'm sorry, I'm buzzing and ringing at this, but no, I don't have a shit count, but I encourage people to maybe rewatch it and let us know.
Yeah, we'll
it's a lot of bullshit.
We'll get the stats for you.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm new to this. I know about that you found this and so on, but am I able to vote for movies myself? Can I go to the website and vote?
Is there a way that our audience can vote for films or indicate which films that they preferred and they liked?
Unofficially, there is a way that they can do it. Now, what you guys are watching are private screenings that are not available online to the greater public. This is just an exclusive Bali Hanoi event. So these films aren't available for voting, but the ones that are available online, there's 4 blocks of films. Really, the best thing to do is to go online, watch the films, and share your favorites. And then we can kind of look and see which ones got the most shares and kind of, you know, choose a a viewer favorite, audience favorite. That's the word I was looking for.
What's the website, Adam?
It's the ugpff.com, just like the unofficial Google Plus Film Festival. ugpff.com.
Okay, we'll be sure to share that on our Facebook tomorrow anyway.
Wonderful. Well, you guys have a second block of wonderful films, and I really hope you guys enjoy them. If anybody else has any questions about what you've seen or just really a global event, then, you know, let me know. Otherwise, go ahead and start the next block.
Okay, Adam.
So can I ask?
We have one more question for you.
Can I ask for the second move directly to him or through you? I'll use you as the
Well,
conduit.
he'll probably hear you from here.
Are you sure?
Shoot.
So for the mariachi film clip, like it was a Spanish song, and
Yeah.
it was Mariachi en la calle or something. What was
Uh-huh.
the inspiration behind like the sort of the characters in that? Like there was different dancers and different looking, like culturally different looking people, and what was the sort of like what was the thread with that?
Let me see if I can get Jamie on this. Jamie, do you want to come in? It's talking about the cultural thread between all the different dancers in Kano Kai.
Is there a question?
There's a question. I can answer it if you like.
Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, this was a creative project that we created, very similar to some of the banana check-in videos that we did while we were in Hanoi, and a number of artists. And we found a location, which was this 500-year-old old building that turned into what's called a mezcaleria, which is where they serve mezcal, and basically each one of these dancers contributed to their interpretation of the song. The song was about a man who basically found out that the woman that he loves no longer loves him and is in love with other people. And this is him going through his internal turmoil. And so each character brought in their own, we allowed each dancer to do their own interpretation of that. We had the Japanese Buta, the 2 belly dancers, as well as a mask performer.
Okay, Adam, that's great to speak to you for now at the end of our first block of films. We're going to shoot right ahead and start our second block of films. I think it's been great so far. I'm really into the movies that we've seen, and I'm very excited for the next 45 or 55 minutes. Thanks very much.
Awesome.
We'll speak to
All
you
right,
about
perfect. Well, thanks again so much for holding an event. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. And with no further ado, enjoy the next block.
Okay, thank you.
All right, cheers.
Okay, I'm going to meet